All right, what's good? Hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy and safe today. Today, I'm bringing you another video. We're going to discuss something in a minute, but first, I wanted to talk about this footage. I left it unaltered so you can see how I play Captain America. I'm a Captain America main, although I recently picked up Thor, who's Captain America on steroids. I'll do a video on that soon, and I'll be picking up Thing, I believe, when he launches, just because it's a similar melee brawler playstyle. But without further ado, get into this video. And the reason I think a lot of you are higher rank than you believe you are, myself included. So I did an experiment this patch. It breached over from last patch. I'm trying to find the words, really. I don't write scripts or anything, but kind of trickled over from last patch, and I wanted to do a experiment this patch. So I did the experiment, and the experiment was basically me talking to people after the matches, during the matches, and trying to find out what rank they were, what they were doing, what's going on because of the reset and things like that. And I found out a lot more information than I even wanted to find out. And I'll get to why I did this in a minute. So I started asking people what rank they were, and surprisingly, a lot of people would be Diamond, GM. A lot of them would be. And I know what you're thinking. You're not Diamond or GM. I know these things, buddy. I know these things. But I would always be fighting Diamond and GM players who would be on alternate accounts. New accounts is the thing I got. Or the one thing I got the most, actually, is leveling alternate account for a friend, boosting a friend. So I'm out here and I'm fighting a lot of GM Diamond players over and over and over and over again. Like, it was something like, at the start, it was almost 90% of the matches. I could say 9 out of 10 matches, I was fighting Diamond and GM players. Is that not insane? And that's not even to go along with the people who aren't admitting it, who refuse to answer me, which is fine. You don't have to talk to people in the game or anything. I just throw the question out there to learn. I kind of, disguise it. I ask a couple questions like what platform people playing on. I just type platform ? And then I say, what rank are you usually? People don't like to hear the word smurfing. I don't know why, but I don't ask that. Like, what rank are you usually works? And they honestly tell you. And I'm shocked. I'm very shocked to find out I'm fighting Diamond and GM players like 9 out of 10 times at the start. And even now, today is what, January 28th, 2025? Like, 7 out of 10 games. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? People are smurfing, leveling friends accounts. Diamond and GM players are down here. And I'm not shaming them or anything. You can do what you want to do, but this is why you're better than you think you are, or why you cannot climb. Some of these matches were, I'll tell you another tip. Sometimes I'd solo queue or duo queue, and I'd run into 3 or 4 stacks of these players. Let that sink in. I know you can go to friend request people, and they'll tell you exactly how many people are in that group that they're in. Or you can go to their profile page, and they'll tell you how many are stacked. I know, man. Can you imagine? So sometimes you're going up against 3, 4. Even one of these guys is insane, right? One of these guys is insane. They're pulling insane numbers, and then you're like, wondering if you're bad. You're wondering if you're bad at the game, if it's something, and you're going to your highest potential and you're fighting these guys. And like I said, most of these games I would lose. Some of them I would win. Some of them I would draw. And this is why I say a lot of you are better than you think. Some of you might, right now, if I was to guesstimate my level, and I'm still climbing when I can play, I would say I'm probably Diamond 1, just because of all the GM and Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 3 players I've run into, and how those games end up going, especially since I'm solo queue, maybe 80 to 90% of the time, and the other times I queue with my son. Sometimes I queue with friends. So, let that sink in, though. Let that soak up. Like, let's say you're in bronze, silver, gold, plat, whatever it is, and you're running into teams at GMs and Diamond, and you're bashing your head against the wall, but you're not actually looking at the full picture. You're not wondering if these guys are GM and you manage to draw or even win a round in the game. Like, bro, do you know how much better of a player you are? You've had those crack games, right, that you've still lost, right? And you're wondering how. This is why people are smurfing. People are leveling friends' accounts. Like, I guarantee you, if you're actually not, for lack of, well, I'll use this. I'll say, if you're not bad at the game, you know your potential, you know you're good. Like, even I'm new to this game. I'm new to hero shooters in general. So, I know I'm new. But my new ass is doing great against these Diamond and GM players, in my opinion. In my opinion, these rounds are pretty close when I fight them. I do my thing with Cap. I mean, I do the best I can with him and Thor. So, like, it's very surprising. It's very shocking. And I don't think you should beat yourself up about these games anymore once you get this insight. Like, imagine a team of 3 or 4 Diamond to GM players in your bronze, silver, and gold lobbies. Plat lobbies, even. Imagine. Like, when you're solo queuing or you're queuing with a buddy of yours, like, come on, logic says you're going to lose that matchup. I mean, sure, if you guys have the game of your lives and things like that, because I've done it. I've won against, I'm not going to say like 3 or 4 of them, but like when 1 or 2 of them is in the lobbies and they get bad players on their team and I get bad players on my team, you know, sometimes I'm the deciding factor and I can pull out a win in these situations. But I would suggest you start asking. Seriously. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to be honest. But like I said, I found more often than not, people are super forthcoming in this game. People are like, I'm leveling it up for a friend. I'm boosting a friend. I'm on my alternate account. And a lot of the times, without even asking them, it shows, right? You can't have such big discrepancies in the DPSs on the team. Like the other team has 3 people who are getting 40 to 50 kills and your DPS are lower than you are on the tank, right? Like you're ace on your team while you're on Doctor Strange or Thor or Captain America or whatever it is, because you're not actively engaged in the DPS, right? Your DPS are getting, you know, tore through and you're just back there doing your job, diving your backline or on the front line, shielding and getting picks and things like that. So yeah, I know a lot of people wonder. They're like, why am I stuck? And I can't speak for Season 0, right? Even though I know this was going on is a big thing, smurfing was. But the experiment I did for Season 1, yeah, there's no doubt you're actually always punching up and they're punching down. Like, I guess it's like, and I don't want to speak for these guys too much, but like, I guess a lot of them probably don't want to lose their rank, I'm guessing, or it's just a complete like wall against wall when you fight other GM players. It's all I can assume, like, and that might sap the fun out of the game, you know. I mean, it's fun to steamroll newer players or players below your skill level for them. Like for me, I like a challenge, you know. I wouldn't get the GM and create an alt myself. I wouldn't start smurfing myself. If I got to like a crazy top 500 rank or something, I probably would make a new account and start over, but I would still solo queue. I wouldn't come down there with teams or something like that. But all in all, man, I'm not these guys level. Like I said, I'm a complete noob at this game who's managing to climb and do these things against these players. But I'm starting to realize my rank is higher when I'm running into these guys. I'm not fighting like, you can tell once you go from fighting these guys to fighting like regular people and steamrolling them. The difference is huge, man. The difference is huge, which is why I say you're probably higher rank than you think. Like, not even marginally higher. Probably like, if you're probably like hard stuck in bronze, you're probably a plat player. You know, if you're hard stuck in gold, you might be diamond, but these guys aren't going to let up. They're not going to stop. It's easy to, it's a free game, so you can make as many accounts as you want. You can boost as many friends as you want. Like, it's not going to stop anytime soon. But the one plus side of that is, and I've learned, fighting these guys made me significantly better. It made me, you know, lock in on my characters I was using. I started, like, if you review the matches, and you can learn a lot. You can copy what these people are doing. You can copy tactics, doing things I never thought a character could do, and implementing it and using it against. That's the one thing I can say is I can learn. Like I said, if I fight somebody around the rank I'm climbing in, they get completely demolished, even in solo queue. But when I run into these guys, it's a coin toss. It's a if we don't know what's gonna happen. So keep this in mind. I don't want anybody to be like discouraged. Now, I wouldn't say use it as an excuse. If you're bad and you're just bad, you may actually be bronze, silver, gold. There's nothing wrong with being bad. You might not be able to climb because things you're doing. But as I said earlier in the video, if you're doing the best you can possibly do, you're always, MVP on your team or something. You always do your job, whether it be DPS, you're getting your 30 to 50 kills. If it's tanking, you're holding the line, you're taking up space, you're disrupting the enemy. You're doing everything you should. If you're that Wolverine, you're taking out those tanks every time, and you're, highest on your team every time, SVP, MVP, whatever it is. If you're a healer and you got, 15 assists, 30 kills, 40k heals, and it's every game consistently, and you still can't climb, this may be the reason why. And I'm gonna go a step further to say it's most likely the reason why. Like it was a fun little experiment though, and it gave me a lot more confidence. It gave me a lot more like incentive to go out there and actually play these games, fighting these guys, because you never know who you're gonna run into on an alternate account. You never know who you're out there fighting in ranked. Quick play is a hot mess. You don't know who you're fighting in that either, but it's that I don't know. We'll do it. That's a whole nother video. But in ranked, yeah, man, you're probably higher ranked than you think. And with this knowledge in place, it'll probably help you do better, because you won't, immediately get down in the dumps thinking, man, I'm fighting people my rank, and I'm bronze and I just can't beat bronze. And you deep down know you're probably not bronze level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and get out y'all hair. Y'all let me know, man. This was a fun experiment to do, because I just had to know. For personal peace of mind, I had to know. It's now, at the end of the day, it's not an excuse or anything. I mean, you have to overcome those odds, because if you get the GM, you would be fighting nothing but GM players anyway, right? Unless you go recycle Smurf and boost alts and things like these dudes doing, you'd be fighting GM players anyway. So the double-edged sword of that is, I know I'm not GM level because I've been fighting them and getting my butt kicked, but I also know that I'm better than I think I am because I've been fighting them and having marginal success. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out your hair. It's your boy KLG Ouchie. Deuces.